You own the single most complex piece of technology on the entire planet. But here is the catch. It did not come with an owner's manual. We're going to dive into your brain's ancient wiring to figure out why our modern world can feel so chaotic. Does this sound familiar? You are sitting there with a million things you could be doing, but you just feel restless. You're scrolling on your phone, feeling totally unengaged, but at the same exact time, there is a low-grade hum of anxiety in the background and a feeling of being constantly behind. This is a strange modern feeling, but if you have felt it, you are not alone. What if I told you that feeling is not a personal flaw or a lack of discipline, but actually a feature mismatch? Think of it like trying to run the newest, fanciest software on a computer from 20 years ago. It's simply not going to work right because your brain's operating system was designed for a world that does not exist anymore. This brings us to what we call the modern glitch. It is the point where our ancient internal programming smashes right into the 21st century, creating system errors like stress, distraction, and that bizarre feeling of being both bored and busy. The science behind this is called evolutionary mismatch. This occurs when traits that helped a species survive for thousands of years suddenly become a problem because the environment changed faster than biology could keep up. To understand this glitch, we need to look at our brain's original factory settings. First up is boredom. We usually think of boredom as an awful feeling to be avoided, but for our ancestors, it was a life-saving push notification. It was a signal that your current strategy was not working. Perhaps the fish were not biting, or the berries were gone, and it was a kick in the pants to explore and find something new. Then you have stress, the famous fight or flight response. This was an amazing short-term tool where a lion appears and you get a jolt of cortisol to either fight or run for your life. It was intense, but it was temporary. The problem arises when you drop these ancient tools into our digital world. Our hardware is from the Stone Age, but our world is completely digital. Back then, boredom was triggered by a real lack of progress. Today, it's triggered because a web page takes 2 seconds to load. The response used to be physical exploration, but today it is to mindlessly scroll social media, which acts like a social snack that gives you a quick hit but leaves you feeling empty. This endless scroll provides cheap dopamine that scratches the itch of boredom instantly, but it raises your tolerance for engagement, making normal life, like reading a book, feel unbearably dull. We are effectively short-circuiting boredom's real purpose, which is to push us toward deeper thinking and creativity. On the stress side, our brains cannot tell the difference between a predator and a work deadline. A looming project or a notification is seen by a nervous system as a threat. It's like facing lion after lion while sitting perfectly still at a desk. Because the threat never goes away, the stress alarm never turns off. This leads to a bizarre state called sedentary agitation. Your body is flooded with energy, your heart is racing, and you're primed for explosive action, but you're just sitting in a chair. It's literally like revving a car's engine into the red line while your foot is jammed on the brake. All that energy has nowhere to go, so it turns inward, becoming anxiety and muscle pain. We try to combat this by staying busy, but we run into the busyness fallacy. What feels like being productive is often just our brain's attention being shattered into a million pieces. Research shows that heavy multitasking can cost a person up to 40% of their productive time. This state is called cognitive fragmentation. Every time you switch tasks, your brain has to shut down one set of rules and load a new one, which is metabolically expensive and burns real physical energy. The solution is not to get a new brain, but to work with the one we have by reframing these ancient signals. First, reframe boredom not as an enemy, but as an invitation. It's a call to be creative and acts as the doorway to the default mode network, or DMN. This system only kicks on when you are not focused on the outside world, allowing you to connect dots and plan your future. Next, reframe stress as simply energy or fuel. This fuel is meant to be burned, so a brisk walk or tensing your muscles can signal to your body that the threat has passed. Finally, reframe rest. It's not laziness, it's essential maintenance called synaptic pruning, where your brain clears out weak connections to make important ones stronger. A brain without rest is like a computer that never gets cleaned up. In a world constantly screaming for more stimulation, the most radical and productive thing you can do is intentionally choose to do less. Embracing a moment of boredom might just be the real key to unlocking clarity and calm.